Hi, I'd like to welcome you to our eSafety Assembly for eSafety Week. And I'd like to start our assembly by sharing with you the story #Goldilocks, a #cautionary tale, which is a retelling of the story of Goldilocks. And whilst you're listening, have a think about how you think Goldilocks should have behaved online. #Goldilocks, a #cautionary tale by Jeanne Willis and Tony Ross. There was a girl with golden hair who used her mobile phone to share her photos and her videos. No harm in that, you might suppose. At first she posted boring things, a selfie in her fairy wings, and looked for likes that didn't come. She couldn't count the ones from mum. Oops. She thought as she lay wallowing, I must increase my following, but how can I attract a crowd? I know I'll make them laugh out loud. And so she shared on Instagram her baby brother eating jam, all smothered in it, head to feet. Her friend adored it, #sweet. She shared a talking dog called Rover, Uncle Richard falling over. Farting ferrets, frisky rabbits, little kids with silly habits. Now her post got lots of likes, her ginger kittens riding bikes got over 50,000 hits. Goldilocks was thrilled to bits. But then her followers got bored of funny cats and they ignored her baby brother's latest antics. Goldilocks felt friendless, frantic. Fearful she would fall from fame, she felt that she must up her game and look for something far more daring, something shocking, good for sharing. Off she skipped into a wood in which an empty cottage stood, and with a cheeky little grin, she took a selfie, breaking in. She videoed the table laid with bottles of porridge freshly made. She grabbed the smallest, ate the lot, and posted #piping hot. Then swinging on the tiny chair, it broke and flung her in the air. She didn't care, #fun. She filmed the damage that she had done. I wonder what's upstairs, she said, and bounced from bed to bed to bed, and then collapsing in a heap upon the smallest #sleep. But as she slept, 3 bears walked in. It's her, there's porridge on her chin. She's in my cot, cried Baby Bear. She ate my breakfast, broke my chair. The bears were such a scary sight that Goldilocks ran home in fright. But it was no good hiding there, for who came knocking? Daddy Bear. And Daddy Bear was not alone. A gruff policeman took her phone. He'd seen her posts and all the shares, which proved that she'd upset the bears. You must be punished for this crime, he said, and you must do your time. Inside the bears' house, sweeping floors, mending chairs, and doing chores. All summer long she went each day, no time for phones, no time to play. And even when they set her free, her posts lived on for all to see. But then, in answer to her prayers, she was forgiven by the bears. She'd learned her lesson in the end, and thinks before she presses send. Now Goldilocks would have done well to have thought about thinking before she started. Some of you may have noticed the display we have in our ICT suite, which reminds us to think before we share. Think, T for true. So think before you post something online, is it true? If it's not true, don't post it. H for helpful. Is it helpful? Should I be posting this? Is it going to help people? Is it just being mean? Am I just posting it to get lots of hits? What's your reason for posting it? And did you really ought to share it? I for inspiring. Is it something is it a good news story? Is it going to make people feel happy? Is it positive? Right? If it's negative, maybe think, do we need to post that? Is it N for necessary? If it's not necessary to post it, maybe don't bother posting it at all. K for kind. Is it kind? If what you're posting isn't kind, if it's being mean about somebody, then you definitely shouldn't be sharing it. And I've added an S on to think, to make thinks. Is it safe? Is it something I should be sharing? Am I giving away my personal details? Am I telling somebody else that I don't know where I live or who my friends are? So before you share anything online, on Snapchat, in TikTok, or anywhere else that you might be online with friends in a WhatsApp group or wherever, remember, think. True, helpful, inspiring, necessary, kind, safe. Throughout this week, I would like you to talk about the story of Goldilocks with your classmates and your teachers, and I'd like you to have a go at producing some work that we could perhaps have shared with Goldilocks that would have helped her to learn about think and about taking responsibility for what she shares online. So talk with your teachers, and maybe you could write a letter to Goldilocks, either individually or as a class, telling her all about think and why it's a good way of remembering how we should behave online. You could create think posters. So posters that we could put up in school, posters that we could share with Goldilocks, reminding people to think before they share. And remember to think when you're thinking about getting a present online, am I old enough? Right? Should I be on Facebook? Should I be on Snapchat? Okay, is it safe? And always make sure that you're having those discussions with your parents and that you're making the responsible and sensible decisions about whether that's somewhere that you should be online. And I would really love to see any work that you do, and I'm sure Mr. Dyson would too. So I'm going to ask him if it might be possible to share a quick example or two of what you've done at the end of the week in his Friday bubble assemblies. But I'd also love you to send me some copies of what you've done, and that we could then share that on our website, and that we could perhaps put some of them up in the ICT suite as well. So I hope you all have a good week, and remember to think and to stay safe online.